man is an author. He writes stories. He has just finished writing a story. He thinks many people will like to read it. So he must have the story made into a book.
My name is Stuart Broad. I'm a proprietor of Camilla's Bookshop. This is my partner, who is...
Camilla Frankham, the eponymous.
My name is Julius, and I've been working in Camilla's Bookshop for just over a year. I come from a background of working in libraries, so I've always loved books.
Okay, my name is Al Stray. I'm a part-time bookseller here. I've been here since April 2007. I'm formerly a librarian in Canada and a new bookseller here in Eastbourne. But I just work part-time.
My name is Roger Picton, and I've been buying books here from Camilla's for over 20 years.
First, the story goes to the printing shop. This workman is a typesetter. He starts the job of preparing the story so it can be printed.
Well, the story starts really when Camilla Frankham is working for her mother in a bookshop in Worthing Crescent Road. And I went in there to develop one of my entrepreneurial ideas, which was for making wholesale jam. So
Marmalade.
Marmalade it was, yes. And so I was looking for a book with a good recipe for marmalade. And during the course of this, I met the charming Camilla Frankham, and over a number of subsequent visits, I put the proposition to her that we should open our own shop. I was teaching at the time, but in the end it opened in 1976 with a bank loan, and the shop was at the Seven Dials in Brighton, yes, up above the station. Anyway, that shop was moderately successful for a couple of years. A bad day we took nothing, a good day perhaps £10.
Then this workman takes the lines of type for many pages and fits them into a metal frame. He must be careful not to mix them up.
The next part of the saga is when we bought a Great Dane dog, and before we had anywhere to house a Great Dane dog. So fortunately this shop at the time, the one in Grove Road, Eastbourne, was on the market, and we were trying to buy it and we're having difficulties. So Camilla went up to see the solicitor who was selling the property on behalf of the owner, and you'd perhaps like to pick up the story there?
He told us that we were being gazumped. So I said, well, we don't mind about all the search and all the legal formalities. If you like, we'll go ahead and sign today. So he rang the lady up and said, I advise you to go ahead. They will sign today. She said, okay. So we did.
And
that's why we're here.
Now let's see what happens to these sheets after they're printed.
When I first stepped into the shop and I saw all these books everywhere, just around me, above me, at the side of me, below me, just everywhere, I felt completely overwhelmed. I thought, I'm just sinking into the book. I'm becoming part of a book. You know, I'm being absorbed into the pages. You know, how am I going to sort of separate myself from all the books in this place and be Julius?
One of amazement, which has continued down all these years. All I can say, it was a lot easier to get through the door then. It's a bookaholic's dream.
I call it organized chaos. Well, if you're here on a Tuesday or a Friday, Archie, the parrot, will be here. And so many people come in just to see Archie. And then when they're here, they buy a book. Especially kids like to come up here.
But it is a way of life. I mean, it's a very relaxed way of life, and the people that you meet are fascinating. I mean, we've had, you know, all the stars that come to the Congress Theatre generally come here.
Yeah, but the ordinary people are more interesting, actually. The ordinary people.
Well, you were quite impressed by Susanna York, weren't you?
Yeah, but I actually think that the ordinary people that come in are more interesting because they have a passion for a particular subject.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Yes. I was invited to come.
Yes. Here's your next interviewee, Gerda.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm interested in mainly books on UFOs and esoteric subjects, like this one, The Secret Doctrine of Theosophy, and From Other Worlds, which is about UFOs and that sort of thing.
Second-hand bookshops are important to me, and they always have been since I first really started collecting in probably about 1970. So I tend to know towns because they've got second-hand bookshops in. Not this, unfortunately, is the last survivor. There used to be 5 in Eastbourne, but this is the last one. And there aren't many left on the south coast where there used to be lots and lots of them.
Well, I think there's always going to be a place for a shop like this, because people are always selling books. They're always selling books here. I mean, that's why there's so many bloody books here. Because people always have books and they want to get rid of them. But then there's always people coming in and buying them, and they have they buy a lot of books, and a lot of them are just sort of like nothing special about them. But every so often, they will come across a gem.
Old books have got a very special feel. The paper, the makeup of the paper, the binding, whether it's leather or whether it's hard, hardback, the smell. It's just a feel. You know, you take a book out and you look inside and it's 1800 or 1900, and you think, my God, it's been around for over 150, 200 years, and it's still, in fantastic condition, and it's there, and you can just put it out, and you turn the pages, and the words are the same. But it's got all that time. That book has been a kind of witness, a silent witness to the 150 years, 200 years which have gone past.
Here they go, all finished and ready for shipping to all parts of the world. The story has been made into a book for readers everywhere.